activity. I've been eating for the past 36 years. I'm considered to be an expert on that. I have three passions in my life. One of them is I have a deep passion for people. It's also kind of a fetish for me. The second one is technology. And the third one is food, because I'm half Moroccan, half from Libya, which is a kind of very special mix. And I have a startup called Feed Me, F-I-D-D-M-E, just because Feed Me, the word was taken, so we have to be original. So I have Feed Me, which is a way to share your happiness about food with your friends, because your friends has a lot of influence about everything that you do. And one of them is food. And I'll take a second to tell you about the study that Professor Dan Ariely did. He has a wonderful book called Predictably Irrational. And one of them, in one of the tests he did, he tested people for their satisfaction from what they picked from a menu in a restaurant. He had a group of people. He asked the first one to announce what he wants to eat. Then he took all the rest of the orders and he tested for the satisfaction. And he found out that only the first one was satisfied. The rest tried to be unique, which is very, very interesting. Then he did another test where he asked everyone to write down what they want to eat. And then he tested for their satisfaction, and it was amazing, it was great, like the first one who announced. So having the ability to pick into your friend's dish without him knowing, it's a very interesting concept. So this is, in like 2 seconds, what Feed Me is all about, sharing happiness about food.
Okay, I have two blogs. The first one is in Hebrew. It's called Food and Wine, and we have we visit the restaurants in Israel and also abroad, and we write about the food and the pictures. The second one is an English blog, Whiskey Israel. We write about the whiskey, we all testing notes and everything.
I'm trying to understand what I'm doing here. So I just can say that I have the privilege to see Yossi eat, and it's an amazing experience.
By the way, when we started Feed Me, we thought it could be very cool if we can get free lunches. You know, from there, we found out that there are no free lunches, but there are free dinners.
That actually works well with my next question, because obviously you're doing all stuff on the web, but the food experience is actually an offline experience. I mean, physically when you eat, and then you connect between the two. So how are your online activities connected with your offline activities? And where do you see the connection, the differences, and the difficult parts of transferring your experiences to the online world?
Okay, I think the most important thing is the ability to take a picture of the stuff, because we talk about food, we talk about kind of art, and having the pictures on the blog, connecting all together. And today with Facebook, when we go to a restaurant, we take the pictures, we upload it right away after the meal. And it gets connected the people to the food, like they eat it.
I think for me, like about the free lunches and free dinners and the people behind it, I had a chance. I have a video show with Lior called Shidurei. It's like a show about nothing, and sometimes we get invited by restaurants to come and I don't know, just shoot the show. It's great, but what's nice about it is like the ability to talk to chefs like Eyal Shani and Rafi Cohen and Ran Shmueli and Nir Tzuk. And all the, so they are artists. It's not just food. So knowing the people behind the food is very, very important. It's not just about eating. So for me, it's like an amazing experiences of knowing more people through food. It's not just about food.
Okay.
Can I tell a short story? 2 weeks ago, I was in Cannes, in France, and I was walking in the old city in the evening, going to an amazing restaurant with amazing food. So I was trying to share the experience, and I couldn't get connected.
You have a Windows Mobile, of course.
Not for long. I was trying to get connected. I couldn't. For me, it was so disappointing that the experience I had at the restaurant, well, I probably most of you feel the same, was less than if I was connected. So there isn't, it's not divided. The digital world and the real world are connected. And we have an amazing experience with everything on our life. Food is one of them. You cannot share. Then I need positive thinking from the last speaker.
By the way, just try next time you go to a restaurant saying, I'm sitting at whatever I am, what should I order? And one amazing thing will happen to you is like in 10 minutes, you will get the best dish on the menu from your friends. So this is like, I call it like hooking up. It's not it's a human search engine that knows the right answers for you, which is amazing. I do that all the time. That's how I get free desserts at restaurants. I bet with the waitress that I could tell her what's the best, dessert on the menu, and they never believe me. And every time I do that, I get free dessert. So it works.
Okay. I don't think that enough restaurants and bars in Israel are involved in with the online community. Do you agree? Some of them very few do it. Fewer do it personally, not use agencies. And what would you like to see from businesses? What engagement you would like to see from the restaurants, the local places, with the local community? Because the local community, there are a lot of foodies among them. And we do read about food a lot. So what would you like to see from businesses?
I'd like to see them move beyond the usual marketing stuff they're doing today. Like, how do you market a new dish in a restaurant?
Free food.
No, it's not just you take the food critics, the ones that you have no social connection to. You give them great service, great dishes, the best one, and then they write some kind of a review that I don't know if they got paid for that. It's all phony. You don't even when you go to a restaurant review site, okay, and you see this place is amazing. You do not know what stands behind that review, right? So what I think restaurants should do is like try to get their foodie community inside. Maybe ask them. Even if I have 100 readers, but I'm a foodie, you should invite me, to review. It's not just about the free food, there is a bit of a problem. I'm getting free food and I'm supposed to write what I'm thinking about. That's why we're not affiliated with I'm not getting free food anywhere. I'm paying for everything except for Rafi Cohen in Rafael, where we had like amazing snacks. It's like
remember the filet?
Oh my God! He has like a refrigerator. He's doing his unbelievable.
I don't know what is better, like what you think about iPhone 4 or filet.
iPhone 4 and filet. Oh my God!
On a filet, on an iPad.
On yes. Scary to me.
Yeah, you can eat. I can see an app. While you eat the filet, the app shows you the sauce.
He knows me. So I'd like to see them, that touch the crowds. And they can do it. It's like Eyal Shani. Eyal Shani, he tweets. He's amazing. He's like, he's a food philosopher. Right? He once said, I sat a whole day in a field of tomatoes in Italy. And from a side, I saw that tomato, and she looked at me, and I looked at her. And we knew we were going to come together in the kitchen. Okay? So he really loves food.
I have another tweet from Eyal Shani, which is more on the ground. So he was saying, I was stopped on speeding by a police officer, and I hear the police officer on the radio. Someone asked him, "Is this Eyal the tomato?" So the police officer asked, "Are you Eyal the tomato?" He says, "Yes." So the police officer says, "You can go."
Are you getting free food for your reviews?
Basically, no. Try to avoid this kind of because, as you said, I strongly believe that when you get a free food, the review is not.
It's not real.
Not real, of course not real, and I see many bloggers doing that, and we avoid it many times.
Yeah.
When you get a free iPhone 4, what about the review? Free.
I pay for mine.
I'm willing to review it in a positive way. Also, the iPad.
We can do a review on Shidurei.
What recent story did you have, and what interaction did you have either with your readers or with your followers? What an interesting story, an interesting aspect of your work that's related to food that you can share with us.
We have one of our users in the UK who took his iPhone and just pictures the food. The owner was sure he's a food critic. He got the whole meal for free, and he didn't make it, so he was very happy about it. The second one is we opened up a store with we have a chef logo, which is very, very nice, and we opened up an online cafe press shop, and all the income is going to charity. And one of our users said he'd like that to have for his birthday. He'd like to have one of the
apron.
Yes. So his wife bought it, and he just shot it and showed everybody his new present, which is amazing. He's not shooting pictures of food but he's making food. He's connecting to that.
On the whiskey blog, we're trying to review many kind of whiskeys, and it's very hard to get them in Israel and very expensive. Even if you want to pay, you can't get what you really want. We found many people over the internet who tried to us in the blog, and were able to send us samples. We sent samples with them. Without the blog, we couldn't do it. Just couldn't.
First of all, if you don't have Feed Me from Yossi, you must install it. It's amazing. So do that right now.
You need an iPhone.
With an iPhone, yeah, install it. But one of the things I like at Feed Me is that I see people, a lot of pictures about what they make at home. So last Yom Ha'atzmaut, Independence Day, I was doing a barbecue, a mangal with my friends, and every friend was responsible to bring different kinds of meat. So we had like 8 or 10 different kind of meats, like parhiot, starting from parhiot until parhiot, yes. Yes, in the mango. So I took a picture with my amazing Canon like SLR of the different kind of meat, and I tweeted it. And it was the first real-time manga. So every time we have a new kind of meat on the manga, it was in real time, and I got recommendation exactly what to do with the kebab harif and what to do with the kebab not harif. So it was an amazing experience. So as Twitter is changing the way we act, we socialize, food gets you the most retweets, the most emotional connection. Food is emotional. And this is why Twitter is, at real time, is changing a lot of industries. Food, I think, is number one.
Now, wake up.